I never thought that it would be the day that I would totally quit Adobe Creative Suite. Trust me, I love the program, but I just can't see the profit that I'm making for $70. It just went up. I don't know what happened. The price went up for me. I just don't see it anymore. I cannot. There's no way. Profit matters. And with that said, I've used AI to give me some calculations on it. And I mean, it's like AI has this mind that helps you sort of determine what kinds of gains and pros and cons and fails. And it sort of, how I want to say this, predicts your outcome before you even, and it's amazing. You know, a lot of people say, hey, AI is no good, it's taking jobs away. But for a small business like me, I think, you know, I need all the help I can get without paying for it. And I'm gonna listen to this prediction for me and help guide me in the way I want to, you know, because it's so connected to the algorithm, and it uses it just analyzes everything from trends to forecasts to guidance and predictions. And I already know, for example, I already know what's going on. It's like all the prices are going up. All the prices are going up within like products, supplies, tools, services. Everything is going up. And the bottom line is, what really are you doing with this business? You know, are you selling something? Are you trying to produce a service? Are you educating? It's something. The reason why I got into education was because it's a service, right? It's going to pay me to teach a service, to educate, and then also brand my artwork into this educational system. And it did, and it worked, and it was great. I did a lot. It was something that I really accomplished, and I really did it well. And that was about almost a decade ago. And now it's like I'm doing this for a reason. I'm still producing, you know, monetization, a cost of living to support this lifestyle. And you know, I would love to do it for just the love of it. I wish all of us could do it for the love of it. But sometimes you got to be like, okay, is this production going to help you in reality, like live a living? Because everything does cost money, and you have to have that stream of income coming down to support what you're doing. And yeah, it costs money to do this. So with that said, I'm looking for ways to create my artwork, and there's a lot of tools, a lot of media tools out there that people are used to. In the good old days of creating art, there was the painters, and you know, they would create art with pencils, charcoal paints, oil paints, acrylics, and all of that. And that's great. I may have to switch from vectors to another source, because it was before you could have just gotten the software and just uploaded it and use it. But now it's like the software engineers know, because I worked with app development, and we knew that every time you upgraded the phone or iPad or the software, you have to update the software code within. And our app doesn't exist because it was an AI app, because the tools have changed. Like, you no longer have an iPhone 7, you have a 17 and so forth. And so Apple knows, and this is their market of selling apps, that you have to upload and update your code to conform with their new technology. And that's, that's where you make the money. That's how Apple and Google Play makes their money. You gotta continually update the software so they could sell your app, right? And they get a cut of it. It's like definitely brick and mortar. What I mean by brick and mortar is a retail space like Target. And in their section, it's like a map. If you look over a Target store with a drone and you see different departments, children's, women's, men's, sports, healthcare, foods, groceries, and each section has its own different brands and departments. Like, food, there's dog food and toys and things like that. Next to the kids area, kids clothing is babies and toys, right? So what I'm saying is, in that ecosystem, each store has to validate its real estate in that map. So if you want to be in the aisle where everybody walks in, the first thing you see, that real estate in front, that's going to cost your business some money, right? You're going to have to cut a deal with Target or Walmart or Kohl's or whatever to be in that front. And so to be in that front, you have to have a lot of downloads in the app world. And so in order for you to be in the app store, just like a Target or Walmart, either Google or Apple ecosystem, Android versus iOS, you have to update your software. It has to be compliant to what they want. It has to check mark all of the things that they want. So you have to update it. And every time somebody has a new phone, like the 17 or upcoming 18, you have to comply with that software technology, and even a new iPad or a phone or a Surface. If it's a Play iOS, a Surface, or a tablet that goes into a Samsung tablet, has to comply. Those softwares have to comply with a certain set of lists of things that they have to have, the important things on the list. So Google and Apple, mostly Apple has the Adobe Creative Suite. And before, in the 90s, you would be able to just pop in a CD or a floppy disk and then download the program. And you would have it for all eternity, as long as you have that computer system, right? But now technology and years go by, you have, not AOL dial-up anymore. You have Wi-Fi and the different types of Wi-Fi and the different types of modem speeds and things like that. And now you have AI incorporated with Adobe Creative Suite. And so that also, you have to have computer systems that accommodate that updated software and AI. So in order for that to happen also, these giant companies like Adobe Creative Suite has to raise their prices, right? And you cannot have any of their programs unless you have a subscription. And so these subscriptions went from $20 now all the way up to $70 for the whole suite. And I'm not kidding. It's just to me, who can afford that? It's gonna go up to, I think it's, some of it is like $100 a month. Who can do that? That's food. But I guess if you are a bigger company, like selling to the likes of Target or Disney or Nickelodeon or any kind of movie subscription like Netflix or Paramount Studios or Pixar, then yes, that Creative Suite substantiates your career or your platform, business, entrepreneurship, whatever deal you have with that company. Like say you are a contractor for Paramount and they use your services to edit films or create artwork or graphics or logos or things like whatever you do for that company, then that monthly fee substantiates your your reasoning for having the Adobe Creative Suite. But if you're like a smaller business like myself, then $70 will definitely minus your profits and things like that. So you have to come up with a creative way to create these artwork. So some artists have, they use Procreate, and God bless if Procreate becomes the subscription. Where are we gonna stand with this? Sorry, my dog barking. Oh my gosh, also Cricut has a subscription. Like if you want to unlock some of the tools that they have within Cricut, you gotta subscribe for $9.99 a month just to use Cricut. But I use the free status because that's what other artists do also. They also bought multiple units of Cricut machines, and it's a lot easier for me to use Cricut and a vector type of software, and then I transform it to a transparency PNG. But for some reason, when I was subscribed to Adobe Creative Suite, the process was just easier for me to use an Illustrator and transfer it to a PNG and then upload it to Cricut Space. And it just was so simple, just like that. But now I have to figure out a way to use another vector graphic program like Graphic. And I used AI to figure out how I can tweak it, because it, unbeknownst to me, Illustrator was using some sort of setting so that it would easily transform to PNG to Cricut, and that's why I was having much success, but Graphic was not. So now AI is helping me to tweak out all of the settings on Graphic to have a much better process in creating the PNG's transparency, so it is a lot better when it comes to creating sticker packs and things like that. So I'm gonna try it. I definitely am, but it's also telling me that I can use other programs that are like Adobe Illustrator, and it's telling me these programs are either free or with a smaller subscription. And that's how I found out about WordPress and their tailored website. Instead of spending $30-$40 a month on Wix, now I'm not paying anything for using WordPress. But there is a limit to that usage, and I have to tweak it a little bit to get PayPal to work in the platform, I guess. And there could be other changes in the future. It's just mind-boggling how you have to use a web service to exist on the internet. There's no way out of it unless you can create your own website. I guess there are ways to do that if you really want to save money, but you still have to use a web hosting service. I have to check on that because things could change with WordPress. Yeah, so do I have to give up vector graphics to create my cartoon characters and step down and go to another way of creating my cartoon characters, which will change the look of it for sure? Yeah, just, you gotta feel for Disney Studios and how they drew out everything by hand using, classical art techniques, and then now it's like what you see is they're using Adobe Creative Suite, but they're like a multi-billion-dollar company, and all of they can afford to have subscriptions to Adobe Creative Suite for their for their artists. It's just, that's just the way it is. So yeah, I'm going to be pausing Adobe Creative Suite for a minute because I just can't substantiate the cost, and I think some of you feel on that as well if you're into graphics. But if you have any ideas or any solutions or resolutions that you have come across, and if you're working with graphics, please comment below or share exactly what you're using to create your artwork as a business, a small business entrepreneur in 2025, moving on to 2026. I appreciate all the guidance and advice, or just your stories alone on how you're dealing with the price crisis. That's a good name. Artists price crisis. What's going on, right? All right, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'll be uploading more and more videos, and in my journey to this digital space. Neighbors, I hope to see you soon. Stay tuned. Love you. Mwah. Oh, don't forget to visit www.drzhivago.us or www.drzhivagoglobal.com. It's all in the description box below. The bio, everything, my story is down below in the description. I want you to go there and take a look at my links and support and be a member also. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.